Marcos Villegas for FightUpTV.com, standing here with Tito Ortiz, the former UFC light heavyweight champion. You noted that you've been around for a very long time. You've had a career of just about 15 years, if I might stand corrected. What do you think is your secret to have been able to last as long as you've had when compared to other older guys that have retired now, like Randy and like Chuck? What's your secret? Why are you still here fighting the top level guys?
You know, I think it comes down to the big man upstairs. You know, God has really blessed me with some great skills, and the attitude of myself of just believing in the things I needed to do to get me forward. You know, I had back surgery, neck surgery. Athletes don't compete after having that happen. You know, Liddell and Couture has never had any injuries like that and came back. I don't think there's any other athlete at all that's ever competed after having the surgeries that I've had done. I think it just comes down to hard work and dedication, determination of believing in myself and believing in what I needed to do to support for my family and showing the fans that I'm a true athlete and I'm a real person.
You're 36 right now. How has your training changed as you've gotten older? You
know, I think I kind of took a page out of Randy Couture's book of training a lot more smarter, not really push myself, trying to kill myself, and just one of those things working with Jason Perillo. I'm so used to doing road work and putting in the hard, like just killing myself, and now that I do, I kind of second guess myself a few times because I'm not doing the stuff I used to do when I was the world champion. I'm like going, God, I'm just even eating the right things. I mean, I eat junk food when I want to, whenever I want to, and it's little small things like that. And it's like, I mean, am I doing the right things? But I'm enjoying life a lot more now. I think, you know, after 15 years of hard work and putting all the things together, you got to train the right way, of course, but I think smarter is better than doing more. You know, I think it really comes down to doing the right things to make it happen instead of doing, you know, a bunch of things trying to cram it all together to one.
You're fighting Lil Nog coming up. You're supposed to fight him earlier in the year. He's fought since then against Phil Davis. What do you see in Lil Nog now, if anything, that's changed from that first fight, that you've more or less had to fine-tune a different game plan, or you still see him and see the game plan you had initially as the same?
You know, I think Phil Davis showed the recipe to beat Lil Nog, but that's very tough. It's very tough to beat Lil Nog. He's a very tough opponent. You know, being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, being you know, golden gloves in boxing, takedown defense is really good too. Him and his brother are very dangerous. Being from Black House, of course, you know, they train with world champions. You know, they train with Anderson Silva, training with Machida. A lot of guys they train with, and they're one of the biggest, best gyms in the world right now. My hands are full. And I believe it's just one of those things that I had to go in, I could put my heart and determination and get my hand raised. And that's, I know what I need to do. You know, me and Jason, we sat down and we kind of fulfilled what we need to do in training camp. And I'm really happy and excited to get this fight done and my hand raised.
Can you say a little bit about some, I guess, basic general things you've been working with in this training camp, and any new things that you've incorporated into your training regimen?
You know, I think it's been sprawl and brawl. A lot of things just pushing my heart as hard as I possibly can. Doing the right things in training to prepare for this fight was, you know, doing a lot of footwork and working on my boxing skills a lot. I mean, that's something that I understand that it's going to come down to the third round. That's going to be what it is making sure my hands are confident and able to throw it and try to knock them out. You know, I got smished the night against Ryan Bader in the beginning of the year. I got fight the night against Rashad 10 days later. And now let's look for knockout the night against Lil Nog.
You mentioned your hands are important from when you go into the third round. So are you expecting the fight to last all 15 minutes and maybe go to a decision? Is that what you're more or less planning for?
I'm not planning for it. I expect it. Yeah. Every one of my fights, that's what I train for. I know if it goes 3 rounds, 15 minutes, and that's what it's supposed to do. If it happens 1 minute and 56 seconds against Ryan Bader, that's what it's supposed to do. Whatever God plans on for me for my fight, to show what type of fighter I truly am and what heart I need to put in for the fight and give the fans what they want to see, that's what will come.
You get the result against Lil Nog. What does a win over him do for you in your career at this point?
You know, I think every win is very, very important. Every fight's very, very important. Against Lil Nog, I mean, Phil Davis beat him. Phil Davis is one of the best in the world. You know, Ryan Bader beat him. I beat Ryan Bader. I just think every fight right now is just important as long as the fans buy the pay-per-view and they get the best fight I can give. I think Johnny Bones Jones shouldn't have a problem beating Machida. He's just too big for him, too fast, and Johnny just shows what type of champion he really is this Saturday night.
Do you feel that he'll be as dominant of a champion as you were back when you held the title for the period that you held it for?
I would love to say no, but I believe yes. I believe he can beat my record. I don't want him to. I think he can do it just because I believe in the guy. I think the guy's a great athlete and he's someone who I look up to.
Tito, thank you very much, and good luck come this weekend in your fight against Lil Nog.
Cool, thank you much, man. Tito Ortiz, Fight Hub TV, UFC 140, Toronto, Canada. Check it out on pay-per-view.
Enter code HUB749 for a domain name discount and enter the codes below for other great discounts from GoDaddy.com.